Okay, so yesterday we are studying about the laws of limiting friction. Okay, three types of frictions: static friction, limiting friction, and kinetic friction. Static friction, the force is applied but the actual motion of the body has not started, then the opposing force, we call it as static friction. The maximum value of the static friction is called as the limiting friction. Okay, and once the body comes in motion, then the opposing force, we call it as the kinetic or dynamic friction. Okay, laws we have studied. The first law states that the frictional force is opposite to the applied force and is tangential to the two surfaces in contact, whereas the second law states that the frictional force is directly proportional to the normal reaction. The third one, the frictional force independent of the area of contact between the two surfaces, provided the normal reaction is the same. Okay, so frictional force independent of area of contact. Okay, area of the contact between two surfaces. Okay, then if it is independent of area of contact between the two surfaces, on what factors is it depending? It is depending upon the nature of the surfaces in contact. That is, what type of surfaces are in contact, whether the glass surface is in contact with wood or a metallic surface is in contact with any other surface. So it is depending upon the nature of the surfaces in contact and also on the smoothness or the roughness of the surfaces. So these are the four laws of limiting friction. Okay, then we were discussing coefficient of friction. Coefficient of friction, which we represented by mu. Okay, how do we get frictional forces directly proportional to normal reaction? Frictional forces directly proportional to normal reaction. Equating it, a constant of proportionality comes, which we represented by mu, and this mu is called as the coefficient of friction. It's a Greek symbol called as mu in Greek. So mu is the frictional force upon normal reaction, is the expression for the coefficient of friction. So from the laws of limiting friction, we know that frictional force directly proportional to the normal reaction, equating constant of proportionality is mu. So mu is equal to frictional force upon normal reaction. Okay, if it is static friction, then we'll get coefficient of static friction. Which frictional force will be there? Static frictional force upon normal reaction. If it is kinetic friction, then the coefficient of friction will be coefficient of kinetic friction upon normal reaction. If it is limiting friction, we'll get the coefficient of limiting friction, limiting frictional force upon normal reaction. Okay, now unit of mu. So many joining so late. Okay, Lakshya Singh, you can unmute and tell me what is the unit of coefficient of friction. Okay, Lakshya Singh, not present. Yes, Somil Tandon, unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the unit of coefficient of friction? Frictional force. Okay, unmute
Yes,
yourself.
ma'am.
Frictional force, it is the force only. So it has got a unit, Newton. Normal reaction is also some force only. The second surface which is applying a force on the first body in the opposite direction. So it is also the force. So its unit is also Newton. So what is the unit? It is unitless. It has got no unit, no dimensions. So there is no unit of coefficient of friction. That is, it is unitless and dimensionless. Okay, so coefficient of friction is frictional force upon normal reaction, and it is unitless, dimensionless. Okay, write down as such as it is written on the board. Frictional force directly proportional to normal reaction equated. Constant will be the coefficient of friction. So frictional force upon normal reaction. Whichever frictional force is there, accordingly we'll get the coefficient of friction, and it has got no unit, no dimension. Okay, next we'll discuss angle of friction. Angle of friction. Let us represent it by theta. Okay, the same figure, a block kept on a table or any other surface. Let's draw the forces acting on this block. The first force, weight of this block acting vertically downwards, which is equal to mg. Okay, the table surface also exerts an equal amount of force on the block in the opposite direction according to Newton's third law. And this force, as it is acting normal, so we call it as normal reaction. This is the direction of the applied force. Okay, so whenever the force is applied, an opposing force is developed, which is tangential to the two surfaces, which we call it as the frictional force. So this is the frictional force. Okay, now angle of friction. Let us complete this parallelogram. These are the two forces, frictional force and normal reaction. The resultant of frictional force and normal reaction according to vector parallelogram law of vector addition. This is the resultant of frictional force and normal reaction. It is making some angle with the normal reaction. This angle we call it as angle of friction. So angle of friction is the angle enclosed between resultant of frictional force and normal reaction and the normal reaction. This is the resultant of what? Normal reaction and frictional force. So the angle enclosed between the resultant of the frictional force and normal reaction and the normal reaction. This angle we call it as angle of friction. Okay, so make this figure and write down what is angle of friction. Hurry up, make the figure. Weight, normal reaction. This is the direction of the applied force. So the frictional force acts in the opposite direction. Now complete this parallelogram to get the resultant between the frictional force and normal reaction, and according to parallelogram law, we know that this diagonal will give the resultant. So this one is the resultant. This resultant is making some angle with the normal reaction. This angle we'll call it as angle of friction. So write down. It is the angle which the resultant of frictional force and normal reaction. The resultant of frictional force and normal reaction makes with the normal reaction. Okay, so it is the angle which the resultant of frictional force and normal reaction makes with the normal reaction. This we call it as the angle of friction. Okay, now let's find out angle of friction. That is, let us find out tan theta. Okay, you can see that it is a right angle triangle. Tan theta is equal to perpendicular. What is the, see this triangle? Perpendicular is frictional force, and what is the base? Normal reaction. So from the figure, tan theta is equal to frictional force upon normal reaction, and we know that frictional force upon normal reaction is the coefficient of friction. So tan of angle of friction is equal to coefficient of friction. Okay, the tangent of angle of friction, tan of angle of friction is equal to coefficient of friction. Okay, so from this triangle we find out tan theta, perpendicular upon base, Perpendicular is frictional force and the base. See, this is the frictional force. So this is also equal magnitude, same direction. So this is also frictional force upon normal reaction, which we know is coefficient of friction. So tan of angle of friction is equal to the coefficient of friction. Okay, one more angle here we'll discuss, angle of repose. Angle of repose. Okay, let a block is kept on an inclined plane. Let us consider this angle to be alpha. Okay, because theta we have taken to be angle of friction. Let this angle is alpha. Okay, angle of inclination of an inclined plane with the horizontal is alpha. Let a block is kept on this inclined plane, and we gradually increase this angle of inclination. At a particular angle, the block will just begin to slide down. Okay, it's not sliding down with some acceleration, just begins to. We are gradually increasing this angle alpha, angle of inclination. At a particular angle, this block just begins to slide down. Then this angle of inclination, we call it as angle of repose. So angle of the repose is the angle of inclination when a block kept on the inclined plane just begins to slide. Okay, it's not sliding down with some acceleration. If it is less than angle of repose, it won't move. Greater than angle of repose, then it will start accelerating in the downward direction, accelerating along the inclined plane. Okay, it will come sliding down. Okay, but at this particular angle, it will just begin to slide down. So write down angle of repose, angle of repose. Write down, it is the angle of inclination. It is the angle of inclination when a block kept on the inclined plane, a block kept on the inclined plane just begins to slide down, just begins to slide down. Okay, now let's find out the expression of angle of repose. Let us draw all the forces acting on this block. The first force is weight of the body, mg, which is acting vertically downwards. This inclined plane is exerting a force which we call it as the normal reaction, perpendicular to the inclined plane. This is the normal reaction. Extend this line. If this angle is alpha, this angle will also be equal to alpha. Geometrically, it could be proved, these two, by taking these two triangles and making it to be similar. No need to prove it over here. You can just write down, if this angle is alpha, this angle will also be equal to alpha. Now let us resolve the weight in two components, in two perpendicular components. Touching alpha, this component will be mg cos alpha. I think everyone knows how to resolve the forces. We are resolving this force, weight of the body, in two perpendicular components. This component touching alpha will be always in terms of cos, mg cos alpha. Perpendicular to mg cos alpha is the sine component, that is mg sine alpha. Okay, the block just begins to slide down. Okay, so the opposing force, frictional force, which is tangential to the two surfaces in contact, is acting in the upward direction along the inclined plane. You can see that rest all forces are passing through the center of the body, whereas the frictional force is tangential to the two surfaces. Okay, now there is no acceleration. So this force is balanced by the opposite force, that is frictional force is equal to mg sine alpha, and the normal reaction is equal to mg cos alpha. So here we get two equations. The first one, mg sine alpha is equal to the frictional force. Okay, no other acceleration is there. Only these two just begins to slide down. That is, this force is balancing the opposing force, frictional force. The same way, n is equal to mg cos alpha, or you can write down mg cos alpha is equal to normal reaction. Divide the two equations. mg and mg cancels out. Sin alpha upon cos alpha, we get tan alpha is equal to frictional force upon normal reaction. Again, we know that the frictional force upon normal reaction is coefficient of friction. So, we get tan of angle of repose is equal to coefficient of friction. Tan of angle of friction is also equal to coefficient of friction. So, numerically, we can say that angle of friction is equal to angle of repose. Both are numerically equal. Why? Because here tan of angle of repose also equals to coefficient of friction. Tan of angle of friction is also equal to coefficient of friction. Hurry up, note it down. Draw the figure. Okay, on an inclined plane, place a block. Draw all the forces. The first force, weight, vertically downwards. Second force, normal reaction, perpendicular to the inclined plane. Okay, surface of the inclined plane, perpendicular to that is normal reaction. Extend that line. If this angle is alpha, draw this angle to be alpha. Resolve mg in two components. This component will be mg cos alpha, perpendicular to mg cos alpha, mg sin alpha. As the block is just begin to slide down, so this is the frictional force tangential to the two surfaces. Okay, in the upward direction. Okay, now from here, equate these two forces, write the equation mg sin alpha is equal to frictional force, mg cos alpha is equal to normal reaction. Divide the two equations. Tan alpha is equal to frictional force upon normal reaction. So it is equal to coefficient of friction. Okay, written tan alpha is equal to mu. So write down numerically, angle of friction is equal to angle of repose. Numerically, angle of friction is equal to angle of repose. Okay, next we'll find out the acceleration of a block sliding down an inclined plane. Okay, down an inclined plane, which is a rough surface. So write the heading. Acceleration of a block, BLOCK, block sliding down an inclined plane. Acceleration of a block sliding down an inclined plane. Okay, let a block is kept on the inclined plane, making an angle theta. Okay, heading you have written acceleration. Acceleration means this angle of inclination should be greater than angle of repose. Okay, that is this theta what we have taken should be greater than angle of repose. Then only it will begin to slide down. Some acceleration will be there. So obviously this theta is greater than angle of friction. Angle of repose. Okay, now let's draw the forces acting on it. The first force, weight, mg, vertically downwards. Second force, normal reaction, perpendicular to the inclined plane. Extend this line. If this angle is theta, this angle is also equal to theta. Resolve mg force in two components. Touching theta, this component is mg cos theta. Perpendicular to mg cos theta, is mg sine theta. Okay, now the block is coming down with some acceleration, okay, on a rough inclined plane. So as the inclined plane is rough, the frictional force acts, which frictional? Kinetic frictional force. Okay, will be acting tangential to the two surfaces in contact. Okay, what is the net force along the inclined plane? The net force according to Newton's second law is mass into acceleration. As the body is coming down with an acceleration, so the net force is m into a along the inclined plane in the downward direction. Complete the figure. Okay, draw the inclined plane making an angle theta with the horizontal. Place a block on it. Draw the forces acting on it. The first force, weight of the body, mg, vertically downwards. The second force, normal reaction, which the inclined plane is exerting on the block. So perpendicular to the inclined plane, normal reaction. Extend that line of normal reaction. Okay, so this angle will be theta. Now resolve mg in two components, mg cos theta, mg sin theta. Okay, as the block is sliding down, so the kinetic frictional force acts tangential in the upward direction. Okay, now according to Newton's second law, the total force is mass into acceleration. Okay, now from here we see that from the figure, this is the total force which should be equal to the resultant of these two forces acting along the same direction. As the block is coming down, so which force is greater? mg sin theta is greater than the frictional force. So ma should be equal to the resultant of these two forces. What will be the resultant? mg sin theta minus the frictional force. Okay, as the block is coming down, this is the total force, net force, which should be equal to the resultant of these two forces, because there are only these two forces acting along this direction. So it should be equal to resultant. As the two forces are in the opposite direction, the resultant will be difference of these two. Now which one would be greater? Block is coming down, it means this force is greater. So mg sin theta minus the frictional force. Okay, now we are finding out the acceleration. This A we have to find out. mg sin theta. Frictional force. We know that coefficient of friction is frictional force upon normal reaction. So the frictional force is equal to mu into n minus mu into n. Why? Because coefficient of friction, frictional force upon normal reaction. So frictional force is equal to mu into n. Okay, now from here, n is equal to mg cos theta. This force is balanced by mg cos theta. Okay, mg we have removed. Instead of mg, now these are the two forces, mg cos theta. Forget about this mg. mg we have resolved in two components, mg cos theta and mg sin theta. Only 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the four forces. Okay, so from here, from the figure, this block is not jumping and coming down. This block is sliding down. Okay, so n is balanced by mg cos theta. N is equal to mg cos theta. So substitute n is equal to mg cos theta. Hence m into a is equal to mg sin theta minus mu into mg cos theta. Cancel out m from both the sides, you get the expression for the acceleration. Hence the acceleration of the block is g sin theta minus mu into g cos theta is the expression for the acceleration which is sliding down an inclined plane. Okay, sliding down a rough inclined plane. Okay, obviously the frictional force is there. So acceleration is equal to g sin theta minus mu into g cos theta. Hurry up, note it down. This is the expression for the acceleration. From where we started, this is the total force which should be equal to the resultant of these two. Resultant is this. Frictional force mu into n. N is equal to mg cos theta. Cancel out n from both the sides, you will get the expression of acceleration. Okay, one minute more I give you to complete it. Okay, next we'll discuss about the work done, okay, against the friction on moving the body on a horizontal plane. Okay, hurry up, complete this. Okay, next topic is work done against friction on a horizontal plane. Okay, on a horizontal surface you may write down. Okay, a block kept on a horizontal surface, no inclination. Block kept on a horizontal surface, and obviously against friction means it's a rough horizontal surface. Let's draw the forces. Weight mg vertically downwards. The second surface exerts a force in the opposite direction, normal reaction. Let this is the direction of the applied force. So the frictional force acts in the opposite direction. Okay, so against this frictional force, we are finding out the work done. Due to this applied force, let the block displaces through a distance s. Okay, let the block comes here. So it displaces through a distance s. Now work done we know is equal to force into displacement. Okay, due to the frictional force. Note it down all these things. Okay, so here we are finding out work done against the frictional force. So due to this frictional force, we are finding out the work done. So work done is equal to frictional force into the displacement. Let the body is displaced through s distance. Okay, frictional force mu into n. N from here, from the figure you can see that it is sliding along this direction. No motion along this direction, that is upward and downward. It is not jumping and moving forward. So N is balanced by mg. So mu is equal to mg into s. Is the work done against the friction. Okay, in the next chapter you will study that the work done may be positive, negative, or it may be zero also. So here, due to the frictional force, the work done will be negative, which we'll study later on. Okay, just this much you may note down, mu into mg into the displacement. Okay, also we'll find out the work done in pushing the block upwards along an inclined plane. Let's complete this topic also. Work done in pushing up along inclined plane. Okay, in pushing a block up along an inclined plane. So along the inclined plane, we are pushing the block. So some work will be done. Let's draw the figure. Angle of inclination, let it is equal to theta. A block kept on it. Okay, now we are pushing the block. That is the total forces in the upward direction according to Newton's second law. M into A is the force which we are applying to push the block. Now let's see what are the forces acting on the block. Okay, now you must be able to draw all these forces mg downwards, normal reaction perpendicular to the inclined plane. This angle will also be theta. Resolve mg cos theta. This component is mg sin theta. Okay, now you are pushing the block in the upward direction on a rough inclined plane. So the frictional force is tangential to the two surfaces in the downward direction. Why? Because the motion is applied forces in the along the inclined plane in the upward direction. So the frictional force is along here. Okay, now let this block is displaced through a distance s. The block is displaced through a distance s, like from bottom to the top. Let the distance is s. So work done is equal to this total force into the displacement. What is the total force? M into A. So work done is equal to the total force into the displacement M into A. Now let's find out M into A. M into A should be equal to mg sin theta plus the frictional force. Okay, this is the total force which should be equal to this resultant mg sin theta plus the frictional force. What is the frictional force equal to? Mu into N. See from the figure. Exactly in the same manner we are doing. N is equal to mg cos theta is M into A. So the work done is equal to mg sin theta plus mu mg cos theta into the displacement. How we got? Substitute it over here. So here we get the work done. Okay, hurry up, you may note it down. By the time I'll take your attendance.